Since the coronavirus pandemic began, many rural school districts in the area have been worried about the lack of high-speed internet access for kids. It's a tool teachers desperately need to keep kids on track in a virtual learning environment. 5 News reporter Bailey Devane tells us how a multi-million-dollar grant could soon get access to these rural areas.
Senator John Bozeman and Congressman Bruce Westerman joined Arkansas Valley Electric in Ozark today as they were awarded a $150 million grant. They're partnering with Virtual Wave Connect to bring broadband internet across the state of Arkansas and parts of Oklahoma.
There's a big willingness in Congress to provide the funding through lots of different entities. The Department of Agriculture is involved, the Federal Communications Commission is involved, the list goes on and on.
The Ozark School Superintendent says when classes went virtual back in the spring, 20% of Ozark students did not have access to online learning. He hopes the broadband project will cut this in half.
It kind of gets thrown into our lap even more when schools are in situations like we were in last spring when we were trying to go all remote and off-site. Presented a lot of challenges for education. This is going to be a great bridge.
The service will include smart grid technology that'll be able to detect when internet services go down. Let's say a tree knocks down a power line. The grid will be able to pinpoint the damages to get it fixed faster.
High-speed broadband is that infrastructure that's necessary for businesses. It's necessary for education, and the pandemic has just put an exclamation point on that.
Valley Electric officials say the smart grid system will encompass 6,500 miles of land through 14 counties in western Arkansas and eastern Oklahoma.
I'm one of those homes actually that there's no internet service to speak of. So we're pumped about broadband expanding in Ozark.
Valley Electric says it will start laying cables to those 14 counties as soon as possible. They hope the whole project will be complete by 2024.